Hello and welcome to kind of a commentary thing. End of the line. Ducks. Yay. So this is gonna be part commentary, part video, part thoughts, part rant. As I got a job, I got disposable income, so I thought, why not buy keys and unbox some End of the Line crates, because I really liked the video, I like the hats, and I thought it's great to support the community when you can, and now I can, so now I will. So this is just me uncrating some stuff. I got that one, which is pretty good. I like it. And I get... Alright, strange. Those are nice. I like those. Flash dance boots. Oh yeah, some more uncrates. Spending the muns. I'm not sure how much of a cut these guys are getting, but I hope it's a lot because I like the hat. And it's good and it's fine. For me, at least, so far. Let's see. Hey, you got this one. I actually traded that one, and I'm also going to trade the next one I get, so... yeah. Anyway. I wanted to talk about some stuff, and in the meantime, you got to see what I got for my first additional crates. I've been creating some others, but I have not been recording that. Didn't get anything interesting regardless. So, we're going to play with some soldier stuff on Upward with the black box, base jumper, and the market gardener, and collecting ducks and stuff like that. Watch this. Yeah, got him. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is like End of the Line and something that I've learned at my new job. Oh yeah, watch this. This is also cool. You can surf the flames and surf for the health pack. And then we get it. Now we jump away. Yeah, so what I want to talk about is End of the Line, ducks. Boy, is it stupid, but boy, is it funny too when you press the button and it makes a quacking sound. I think it's funny. You know, I have, you know, Ducky Jones, the duck that I have, a pet duck. I've been having that for a while. Random crates are cool, by the way. And, yeah, I like ducks. First of all, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I really stayed clear of the Halloween update because I thought it was just utterly bad. Like, it was so bad. It was practically no content. The bumper cars were stupid. The ducks were stupid. And the map was like, CP Snowplow is too hard for newer players, so we're gonna take one of the worst maps we've ever designed and launched officially and make a Halloween map out of it that's even more confusing with bumper cars because I don't know, some part of the quality control from Valve, if they even have that, isn't really doing their job, and they're not rooted in reality. They're basically ostriches with their heads stuck in their sand, and they're so disconnected from the community. I mentioned this in an earlier video that I'm afraid that they're gonna muck up the update, and guess what? They kinda did. Well, not really Valve mucked up this one, because it was End of the Line. They actually didn't really say anything about what End of the Line was gonna be, pretty much. This all kind of ties down to what I've learned at my new job, because I worked as, you know, what is it called? The, I'm also really tired, by the way, if you can't tell. That's why I'm making this video. I wanted to make another video, but my throat hurts and stuff like that. I work as customer support, yeah, on the phone for a big company. And one thing that's important for that company is to set customer expectations. Like, setting expectations, telling customers what to expect. Valve's really bad at that because they don't know how to set expectations. You know, like, what would be great expectations for End of the Line? You know? First of all, the first expectation would be to tell the people involved that don't fucking tell anyone on what we're doing. Don't tell them we're working on a new map. Don't tell them that we're working on weapons. Don't tell them anything. Just don't mention it at all. Why don't you let it be a surprise? That's one thing. So actually, the people who leaked that they were working on weapons and a map for End of the Line was not actually Valve themselves, but it was McVie and some screenshots that may or may not have been true. But the thing is, like, once you start hinting at that and giving expectations to it, like, oh yeah, we're gonna expect maps, we're gonna expect weapons, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Then they start to hype it up, and then they always get disappointed. But if Valve was like, hey, we're gonna work on a community update, it's gonna be similar to the robotic bungalow that we had earlier with just robot hats, and it's gonna be centered around a source filmmaker, a fan-made video. That would have been a much better expectation setter for us and be like, oh yeah, there's going to be a community update, you know, there's going to be some people, they're going to make some stuff, there's going to be a movie, that's going to be like officially supported by Valve. This is great. That's how you set good expectations. What you don't do is keep your mouth shut and you give us this bonus ducks and what the yeah you pay for. It's just I just don't get it. We might get new weapons for Christmas. I think we did last year. We have gotten weapons, like we got them this summer, and then we're maybe gonna get them this winter. So maybe get new weapons every now and then. Pretty much. But as for the end of the line, I'm not that disappointed because I didn't have that much expectations of it, because I was more going for what Valve had said officially on their blog or statements, rather than what some people working with Valve had said. As for that, Valve, if you're watching, hire me. I know what I'm talking about. I now have experience. So the guy who said that you only hire senior dudes, we've seen what what only senior people are capable of, and I think you need some fresh blood in there to kind of spicing things up and not let it die properly, because from what we've heard, people work on the stuff they want to work on, and as it seems, nobody wants to work on TF2. I want to work on TF2. I want to make this game great and even better, but it's kind of hard when there's like one-way communication. That's always been a thing with Valve, which is unfortunate. Still working on, the reason I'm doing this episode, or this commentary, whatever you're going to call it, is also because I wanted to do an episode today, but I'm just simply too tired because late night shifts, I've not been good with my time. I sleep way too much and work way too much and eat way too little. So my energy is like cut in half. I don't have that drive that I used to have in order to do a live show and organize it and go through replays and all that stuff. But I will soon. I've also bought an apartment, so also all that kind of stuff going on during this December, so I'm not sure if I'm just going to take a break or whatnot. I will try to make the... I'm not going to set too much expectations, but I will try to get the Shotgun episode done, the Fat Scout episode, and maybe I will get some more story time done. Or maybe I won't. Let's say I won't, and if I do, it's going to be a surprise. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we call setting expectations, Valve. And you have to excuse me for being a bit sassy, a bit full of the sass. Just being doing a cast with CJ. My throat hurts, and people are mad. I was not upset with the end of the line update, that there wasn't any new weapons, so that's fine. So it was alright overall. I like the hats. You can see that I'm wearing the set for a sniper. I actually got the snow sleeve after this one. I really like it. I think it's great. So it's my favorite new hats for the moment. And also I like doing conga in the beginning of the round because you actually move forward while the others are stopped. And if the other sniper isn't using the conga, well then you get there faster because min-maximizing stuff. Pretty much. So I also gotten back into playing some more TF2. I've been playing a lot of Warframe and Skyrim lately, so I tried to get into TF2. And man, I don't know what it is, but after the update, I shoot so much better than I remember doing before. Of course, I never recorded how I played before, so I don't really have much to do that with. But I feel like I have more control, and it was like, ah, this is easy. I just click his head and he dies, easy. Some other cases, you might have seen me getting some headshots here and there. But yeah, it feels good to be back in a lot of ways, and it's kind of every time there's a bad update. Which is, in my book, the second. I mean, I don't really care much for Halloween because it's not part of my culture, and I think the whole thing is really stupid. But the last Halloween update, like, I basically took a break from TF2 when I saw the Halloween update was there because I knew the game was gonna break, and yep, it did. The payload cart did not heal. I don't know how you code things that you add stuff in the payload cart. Hey, watch this. Taunt protection team. Taunting, protect a guy. Shoot him in the face. Mission accomplished. What was I saying? I'm gonna actually pause the video and go back and listen to what I said. Actually, I'm not. Just kidding. I was... something about something. This is gonna make me sound like an idiot. Anyway. Like, yeah. Expectations, stuff, updates. Yeah, the Halloween update being bad. Yeah, it broke. Like, how does you adding bumper cars break the way that payload carts heal? Did someone just spill coffee in the code? Is that what happened? So full of his ass. Anyway, so I stayed clear of it until they fixed it. And I came back and I'm like, yeah, end of the line. I'm like, yes, more crap. More stuff we don't need. Yeah. So it's about business models and doing all that stuff. So yeah, what I've been working on too, I've been working on some ideas for the sticky launcher. I initially had an idea for a split of the sticky launcher that would split it. Like you get like a spammy version and you get like a trapper version. But the thing is, like, the spammy version would pretty much just be an upgrade of the grenade launcher, and the trapper version was fine, if you ask me. So I'm still working on that, and I thought, like, man, like, being just me, balance advisor for the community is not really gonna work. So I had plans, or I have plans, to get a draft of people that I would like to, we create like a council where we pretty much represent everyone, like the different parts of the community. Like we get people from the Sixes, we get people from Highlander, we get people from Pub, and we get people from MVM, as well as people who play just random pubs and just some scene minor advisors as well. And we tried to figure out like how do we do this, because Valve is obviously not going to balance the game, and we might have to balance it ourselves, because we are the ones playing it. Valve is not, but Valve is the ones that are deciding all the rules, even though they clearly don't play it and clearly don't playtest this enough. I'm pretty much a representative of new players. You know, that's what I do with the show, with the unlocks, tutorials, and all that stuff. It's kind of like infotainment in a way. At least that's the intent. But when they were like, yeah, the map's is too confusing for new players. And I had a friend who had never played TF2 before, and I made him play the map, and he was like, this map is great, and he knew where to go and what to do, because I don't know what control group Valve uses for the newer player thing with the feedback thing. I really don't. They're not in touch with reality. They're like, the map's too confusing, but we still made Halloween Doomsday, because that's not confusing. Especially the previous Halloween update with the spells, because that wasn't confusing either, when you also chose a stellar map, Hightower, which is, oh god, is that map bad. But like, if you remove the cart, oh yeah, watch this, this is like pro sniper evading headshot skills. Just look at this, up and down, fucking missed. You can't hit them when you do that, and it's kind of hard to deal with. So yeah, infotainment, you'll learn stuff here. So yeah, not impressed. Also taunting after kills, it's also fun. So yeah, not really that impressed. I'm not, like, I thought the ducks and those stuff were funny, but I wonder how long that's gonna be funny. It was funny, like, when you pick it up and stuff. I'm not sure if you're gonna get anything from it, if it's just like another way of strange, because it did give you temporary kill streaks. So I guess they're going to monetize a way, in cosmetic way, where you can actually track kills and stuff like that. Which is fine, you know, I don't really care about that. But I think, like, could we get a break on hats? Could we, like, not do hats for a while and just do weapons? You know, that would be great, because there's a lot of great weapons in the game that are bad, and are designed bad and balanced wrong. But you never fix that, because all you do is add hats and ducks. And that's not really cool, and we haven't had a new map in forever, even though there's plenty of really good community maps out there that we never hear about, because we never hear about them. So I'm hoping that in the future, less hats, more maps, more weapons. Here's some ideas, Valve. How about a sticky launcher that doesn't stick to a surface, but only sticks to players? So you can stick it up on your soldier, and you can have him jump in and bomb somebody, and you could help him blow up with friendly damage. No, without friendly damage. The engineer could have been given catapults, or springs, or trampolines instead of teleporters, so you can bounce and fly around. What about the demo? Well, how about you make the sticky launcher only detonate stickies when he has the sticky launcher out? You can't detonate stickies when you're on pipe launcher or melee. Or you just make them so that you can't detonate them unless they hit the ground. So they like arm when they hit the ground. So that would make pipes more viable for air detonations and trying to hit stuff. What about the sniper, getting a shotgun sniper that doesn't hit the middle of the scope but has a spray instead, so you can hit more people from far away? What about a crossbow for the sniper that penetrates targets and takes a fucking ages to reload? How about increasing the explosion radius of the airstrike and the Liberty launcher? How about giving this heavy Stalucus bar full heal instead of you have to eat it 3 times? How about you eat it twice and you get everything? Stuff like that. How about, let's see, bouncy bombs for the demo man instead of stickies, and it's like rubber and they bounce around and they lose like 20% of their bounce every time they bounce, so you can like launch them across the map. How about remote-controlled rockets, or rockets that go towards where you aim? Or how about stickies that fall straight to the ground? They're partly anvils. How about less bonus ducks? How about fixing the red tape recorder? How about a weapon for the engineer that you throw, that's throwable, like Girardi, but you throw it at buildings and it takes away all of your metal and it upgrades your building to the next level slowly. So you can like put it on your teleporter, run away, and it can be upgraded to level 2. How about fixing the short circuit so that it actually takes some skill to deal with, and maybe instead of using metal, giving it its own ammo so you have to reload it? How about making pyros explode in a fire explosion when they die, so they have an oh shit factor, so that with pyros getting close and personal and they die, there's actually a consequence to that instead of them just dying and having very low DPS, and also having issues with the flamethrower and ping and stuff, because apparently you get lower range the higher the ping you have. Stuff like that. And how about optimizing the game, please? I'm sure I'm not sure if they're watching anymore. I think they closed the window and I had enough of my clownery. But I think they're porting it to Source 2. Maybe we'll get better performance there. So far, I noticed that on Badwater on my what is it, 680 or something, it drops below 60 without recording, and I used to be able to stream at 120 with the same setup as I do now not long ago, and all you've done is added more hats, and the thing is, like, if the hats aren't loaded, the FPS should not drop. But yeah, it's not really good the way it loads. But yeah, I think that's been me venting enough for now. Or I can vent a little bit more, so we have more video to go on. Ubered Sniper, pretty darn good. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to be gotten here, and I still have the Steam group where I try to discuss all kinds of stuff, and I just haven't been able to catch up lately because there's a lot of good ideas there. I mean, the ideas are there, but we don't have anyone to access it. So I think like community balance board would be great if you get everybody represented. It would be kind of like democracy, but like keep a leader like me and some others at the top, some influential players. I mean, I'd like to think that I've helped influence some of the patches that have been fixed, especially like the sniper jump scope thing. And if the crouch jump glitch gets fixed, I'm gonna be fucking happy to the day I die. I'm gonna be so happy I become immortal. That's what's gonna happen. But yeah, I also know that Star had some effect because like the way they get to know stuff. So basically, this council will also work as a filter for Valve. Like that would be like we would take care of all the feedback to Valve, and we will filter that and give it to the devs so they don't have to listen to or read angry emails from people that are angry at the world and everyone in it. So yeah, I think it could be a great idea. And of course, if you have the opportunity to duel with a pyro, with a pan, you do that. And you kill him, and then you do a victory dance. Excellent. Other than that, me venting and just sitting here half asleep, really. I'm not stopping anytime soon. I don't think that was ever in question, but I'm gonna keep doing this. I think I will do more story stuff like Medfarface and the Fat Scout. It's just that I haven't really gotten to do that. And also I'm working on, I'm not working on Pan Cop, I'm working on another type of cop. Some setting expectations there. I have some ideas, but I haven't been able to get any good replays yet. But I say that I'm working on it, but I'm really not. I'm thinking about working on it. Kind of like Valve on Half-Life 3. Maybe working on it, maybe not, but nobody really cares, actually. So, yeah. But it's always fun to play TF2. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It is my favorite game of all time, and I think balancing it, tweaking it is always important because play styles do change. Do think like the Wrangler is kind of too strong at the moment as well. It's very easy to bullet sponge. There isn't really, as for melee unlocks, there's no really reason to use any of the stock weapons. And speaking of stock weapons, they added descriptions on the wrench there, so that might indicate they're doing some changes there too. But I would like to have some dialogue. If you ever watched Warframe, they actually talk with their fans, and they develop the games for the fans, meaning the fans get the game they want to play, and everyone's happy. And they update the game a lot, and they fix stuff, and they add new content periodically. And they know how to set expectations, because they're good at stuff. Good expectations makes really happy customers. Really happy customer gives you a lot of money. A lot of money gives you a nice house, or car, or financial problems, depending on what you invest in. So yeah, That's me ranting, commentating, whatever. Watch me miss this guy. As for the ducks, I think the ducks were funny, but the thing is that I was not part of the Halloween event, so I might have not gotten my fill of bonus ducks. I really hope we get an update, a war or something for the Spy versus NG. That would be cool. And now we're gonna end off with this clip from here. Sums up how TF2 is like right now. Alright, so snipers throwing pistols and hitting people with the thing and speeding up, and here we go. Oh no, Pyro! Kill them, no problem. Demo Knight, shit. Get the heal, remove the thing. The guy with the pan. Try snipe, victory, yay! This is TF2 right now.
Come on, you pikers! Look at me, conga! Let's go.